Hello, you guys. We're going live here, and I'm just waiting while Sarah hooks us up into the Great Bead Extravaganza. And so, Sarah, can you give me a little message so that I know when we've gone live? And I love seeing people pop on. Super excited. So for those of you that follow the Stars Bead page, I'm sorry you guys, I thought it was going to go right from the Great Bead Extravaganza page, but it ended up coming on from the Stars Beads page, and then we're going to share it right over. So all right, it looks like that we're getting ready to be shared, so thank you guys for joining me, you guys. I'm excited. We're going to hop on over, and we're going to see where the rest of the group is and check it out. Are we excited for a great day? It's a Great Bead Extravaganza. It's a big day. All right, looks like we're getting shared. Hello everyone. How is everyone doing? Are we excited for the Great Bead Extravaganza? I know I'm pretty excited, and I've been watching all the feeds go on as the day has been happening and hoping that I don't run out of battery so that I can do my own feed. So welcome you guys. My name is Kay. I am from a bead shop in Vienna, Virginia. So for those that may not know me, I have a bead store in Vienna, Virginia. Let's see. I want to check so welcome. I have been doing beads pretty much my entire life. I grew up in the business. It's a family business. And, you know, my mom, so a little bit about me, is I started pretty young. My mom's name is Star, and she started a bead shop 25 plus years ago, and she adopted me in Hong Kong and took a knotting class over there, brought it over to Virginia, started teaching all around the county, pearl knotting and several other little techniques. And then we started in our home, being open one day a week on Mondays, and then it grew into a successful bead store in the Washington metropolitan area, and we've been servicing this area for over 25 years. During that time, we found the need for cool components, and so therefore we started a company called Clasps, a sister site, where we started manufacturing components. And so that is one of the, I feel like, components are one of the secrets to jewelry, and having good components and good parts, right? So we either make them. So some of you guys might make the pendant, you know, whether you guys are amazing, you know, polymer clay artists, glass artists, you know, and then putting them up into wearable jewelry. And one of those important parts is how we get our jewelry on and off. And so I figured it seemed only appropriate that I talk about clasps with you guys today. And in fact, we're going to probably make a few too, as well as we talk about it. So hopefully that sounds good to you guys. And this is always interactive. So this is something I kind of do on a regular basis on the Stars Beads page. And so where we kind of discuss little tips and techniques and getting inspiration and getting you guys creating, because that's really my mission, is to get you guys creating whatever it is, making the world a little bit more colorful and a little bit happier to be in, right? There's enough stresses in the world, and you know, beading, that's the joy of beading, as Sarah would say, right? So so I brought some projects along. I thought we would talk about all the different types of clasps are, and then show you some designs on how they're getting incorporated. You can see here I'm wearing a toggle. You can see I wear it in the front, and of course I designed them so that they were that they're worn to be in the front. Let's see. I'm getting some messages here. I'm trying to read as we're going, but I think things are coming up really fast, and so I do always like to say hello. Please let me know where you guys are coming in from. I just love the fact that we are kind of feeling like we're in a bead show, which is completely amazing to be a part of this, and so I'm super excited to be here. And and making a few things with you and talking with you guys. So this is going to be interactive, so make sure you guys, if you guys have some questions, I am watching the feed. I won't catch through every question, but I certainly will be going back through my feed so that I can get back to you about any questions that you might have, okay? I'm not generally an online bead store. We have our Stars Clasp line online, but our Stars Bead site is just normally for classes and announcements, okay? That is something that we're working on changing as we have made a switch over to the online space. And so I'm still a little bit new to this, so you'll have to forgive me for any technical difficulties as we are working along. But I am working through any hiccups, and hopefully we'll just have a little bit of fun today. So one of the first questions I wanted to ask is, you know, does anybody have a favorite closure they like to use? Actually, you know, I was kind of thinking of doing a little bit of a giveaway. I don't know if people have been doing that in the earlier feeds, but I didn't know. And speaking of giveaways, I did want to make sure that we put in a little blip in here about the huge giveaway that our entire group has put together. It's phenomenal. We're talking $1,500 worth of stuff that's being given away. So there are three big packages, okay? And you get every color of soft flex. That's pretty awesome. And you are going to be getting some of a Stars Clasp in every package too. So some beautiful sterling ones, some ones that we will be showing here today as well. So make sure you guys get into those giveaways. Okay, my giveaway right now is, I like to know what class you know. So I'd like to see the first person who can give me 4 categories of clasps. And I want you to put it right into the feed, and I'm going to see who can give me that, and then I'll send you a Stars Clasps, okay? So let's see. I want to see who can give me four categories, okay, of clasps, and so, because we'll probably be talking about them here today. So 4 categories of different types of clasps. Let's see it, and I will be doing a giveaway, and I'm doing it right now. So put it right here in the feed, and you might get a free class. So let's see. 4 different categories is what I'm looking for, okay? And then while you're at it, okay, I'll talk about the little giveaway, okay? Paula Montgomery, you were awfully fast. I think you might have gotten that one. But the giveaway for the soft flex, if you guys check in the announcements right here on the Great Bead Extravaganza group page, you can click down from the announcements, and there is a nice, beautiful post that soft flex has put up for us, so that you can click the link in that post so that you can put in your email to get in for your chance to win some awesome stuff. So, all right, I like seeing what you guys, you know, what you first think of when you think of clasp, because there's so many ways to close your necklaces, and, you know, sometimes they're sterling, sometimes, you know, seed beaters make them out of seed beads. You know, if you're a metalsmith, maybe you can hammer out a few. But let's take a look. I'm going to scroll through the feed just really fast, because that's kind of the part of fun of live, okay? I want you guys to be interactive and have a little fun, okay? So let's see. I'm checking it out. So I see toggles and lobsters and S hooks and rounds. All right. Okay, everybody's guessed lobster claws and interlocking. I like to see what people are kind of familiar with using. So it looks like we all kind of know a lobster, hooks and toggles. All right, it looks like there's a lot of toggle lovers. All right, I think it looks like I'm rolling back to that first one, and it looks like Miss Paula Montgomery, you got yourself a box clasp, toggle clasp, lobster, and hooks. Those are 4 fantastic categories, and we're going to talk about each one of those here today. So you got it, Paula, and we already got you in our system, so we'll be getting you a very fun Stars Clasp. You're always wearing, actually, Stars Clasp, so I'm really not a surprise. You deserve it. So congratulations to Paula. That was a fun one. All right, you guys, so I'm just scrolling through because I want to kind of see what you guys are familiar with, and then we can start off with those ones, because those ones are the ones you know, and then we'll talk about some other ones and the pluses and minuses of certain ones, and go over a little bit of designing, and then we can pull out some wire, some 18 gauge, and some pliers, and let's whip out some really pretty ones, okay? I am excited because I'm going to be showing off some fun different clasps as we kind of are discussing them. So I thought maybe we could make a nice little S clasp here out of a button, and maybe twist up some wire and do a little twisted hook. I know that the It's always fuzzy when you try to do it this way, but we'll show you here. Let me flip the screen here. I was thinking about doing some hooks like this here, or that was an S hook, or making one of these, okay? So does that sound good, you guys? All right, so first thing we're gonna talk about, let's go over, it looks like you guys were speaking about lobsters. How about button clasps, okay? So sometimes they're not metal, so I thought going over, okay, here's a whole bracelet full of buttons, okay? And you can see, I love the use of buttons here. So you can see you can just make a loop. Oftentimes they're used in with leather, okay? And seed beaters really like to use the button. I myself, I'm a wire worker. I like soft flex wire, so I carry that. I actually carry a lot of the things that are of the people in this group, like Tiara Cast. So here's a button clasp. I've also done it with these awesome big jumbo bubble beads. So if you do kind of those wrap style necklace or bracelets, kind of chin loose style, you can see I got a little crazy on daggers, but I love using button clasp. So I just thought to show a few designs of all the different types here, okay? And then we'll make a few as we're playing along here too, okay? So if you guys have questions, throw them up into the feed, okay? I'd love to hear, you know, any questions that you might have as we're going through them, okay? So that's another fun button clasp. We had also thrown it onto leather, so if you like using leather, it's always a great easy closure, right? When you're closing up leather here, and again, throwing it over a nice button. Is anybody else having trouble hearing me? I see that some people say that I'm cutting out. I can speak a little bit louder, but I hope everyone can hear me. So that was fun from our button night we had, okay? And then, oh, and here was one we just here made the other day. So it's nice when, here we used the soft flex wire and putting that through. So buttons, okay? That's a nice, quick and easy, okay? So you know you can do those with your old grandma's buttons. All right, next one I thought we oftentimes like using is magnetic clasps. And so here we have some really fun ones. Just here's a nice bangle using a magnetic clasp. Who likes magnetic clasps? Oh, good. You guys can hear me fine? Great. I was always told I had a good projectile voice. But now we're right here online, so I'm right next to the microphone here. So it could be your internet, but at least you can get replay. All right, so we're talking about magnetic clasps, you know, and magnetic clasps are great, you guys, but oftentimes people might forget that, you know, clasps open and close, right? And so therefore, in order to do that, they obviously have a weak point where they can obviously open and close. And they're great for some reason, and you know, and the way that they've made them and changed them, you can see that they hook in here and then you can't pull. Okay, one of Star's Clasps, box clasp, or I'm sorry, magnetic line here, okay? There are so many great magnetic clasps. A device that my husband designed with one of our silversmiths is using this style magnetic where you're going to push in here and then it lifts up so that when you put this in, that magnetic clasp doesn't pull out. Okay. If you have questions about some of the designs, you can certainly message the page. What was the last bracelet? Leather with jump rings. Leather with jump rings. You're speaking, some of the projects that I'm showing you guys, you'll be able, if you're talking about this one, we were talking about a magnetic, or these were not jump rings here. These were actually a wire wrap bangle. Okay, so a lot of the designs that you guys I'm showing here today are going to be ones that I have done on video feeds on the Stars Beads page, so you can follow us there, okay, and check out a lot of these designs, okay. But so if you don't have those nice interlocking, you know, ways to hold it, the best thing to do here is, especially if you have weighting pieces, because magnetics, although they are great, okay, they don't hold up the entire world. So if you have something heavy and, you know, it's getting to be winter season, so if you're pulling your stuff, you know, you're going in and out of, you know, your jackets and stuff. And so, you know, magnetics, they can open, right? So the thing to do with a magnetic, it can also be helpful, is that you can add a little adjustment chain here. Okay, so that if this does open, you can see that at least there's going to be a little catch. You can still get it open big enough to put it onto your wrist, okay, and then open it up. Okay, if you guys like that magnetic clasp, that's a Stars Clasps. So these are the code numbers. You can go on to starsclasps.com. If you see any of these ones, these are the code numbers for the items. We generally mostly work in sterling for the most part, so you know, okay. So this safety chain is huge, okay? It's a safety chain for a reason. Okay, so Stars Clasps, we just generally do clasps. The Stars beads, we are looking at doing more things online, but we are kind of new to the online space in terms of that. And so the way to shop with us now is you pretty much shop live. So if you go onto our page, you can shop live right with us. You can DM the page, and I will be talking about our Friday night lives. And so that will be happening tonight, and where you can do a live sip and shop with us, okay? All right, so here's another magnetic clasp, okay? And so one of the ways that I like to get around, you know, magnetic clasps where they can just pop open is that I liked wearing it in the front. And again, you know, like my necklace that I'm wearing now, I really like wearing it, you know, pieces in the front. Clasps are so pretty now. They can be the pendant, they can be the centerpiece, right? So in this case, I put it around here. And then you can open and close it really easily, and you open it right in front, okay? So magnetics, awesome, great to use, but you gotta be thoughtful when you're gonna use magnetics, okay? All right, let's see. What's the next one we should talk about? All right, so we go into magnetics. Now they're magnetizing themselves to everything. All right, another one that we can talk about is box clasps, okay? Box clasps, okay, when we are talking about box clasps, they are, okay, it has this little tongue here, okay, and box clasps are really nice because if you want sometimes a stone or something to match, this is where you can get some really, really good designs, especially for those hefty weighted pieces, okay? So when you have a box clasp, Stars Clasp trains their artisans, okay, a special way to really make our box clasps so that they are the best working, okay? One of those things you kind of want to hear that click, and you want to be able to pull on these, okay? So when you guys are just buying box clasps in general, that is one of the things that I really strongly suggest you check, okay? You want to push down, you want to open it, you want to, test those out, okay? Because box clasps are great, okay? But they are, I find that they end up kind of replacing the kind of a pendant for me. So here you can see, you know, again, it doesn't matter where you wear this, right? It will end up looking beautiful. All right. Or, okay, we have made beautiful big ones. So if you like those multi-strands, okay, multi-strand box clasp, you can see here, okay, again, opening and closing, and it's good for those weighted necklaces. And again, it's replacing my pendant. And that's one of the things that Stars Clasps is known for, is our box clasps. Okay, just all sorts of different designs of them. We carry druzy, stone, you know, and plain silver ones. One of the fun ones we just did here, just for fun, showing off a few of the clasps as well as we're going through. But the frog clasp. And it's a box clasp. It's a SS154, but how fun is this one? So we enjoy getting, and actually one of the things that we changed up is, if you'll notice that we changed the rings so that they're actually vertical versus generally they're known to go this way, okay? And to kind of make it disappear, we have put it into the mold of having a vertical ring, okay? So again, this is a box clasp. This is kind of his tongue. You're gonna squeeze this out here. And you got our Stars Clasp logo here. Okay, so that one is SS154, you guys. Just so, in case you guys want it, okay? I love box clasps. Here, I'm just going to show off a few of Stars Clasp ones because I really like them. And having good heavy-duty ones is sometimes a little bit difficult to find. Okay, so we carry a great line of box clasps online. In fact, if you guys are into stones, here's some beautiful Mabe pearl blister pearls and some turquoise here. But then we also carry a great line of your everydays, okay? So this is one of our popular box clasps here, is a nice swirl. And then again, it's the attention to detail, just like the jewelry that you're making, okay? So beautiful on all sides. And this one is SS152. Okay, so if you guys go onto the Stars Clasps website, www.starsclasp.com. If you just put in the comment section of the Great Bead Extravaganza, we'll offer you 20% off on your order. Okay, not everything that you might see here online is on there, so you can always put in the comments any code numbers. This is one of the newer ones that I know hasn't made it online. It's SS156, and you can see there's a fun totem pole, okay? So if you need to lengthen those necklaces, this is a really good one, all right? But got a little Stars clasp on its butt. Okay, so, all right. Box clasps, I'm just busy showing off some fun ones from Stars Clasps, okay? All right, so since we got into a little bit of multi-strands, and a tube clasp is another one. So if you guys... this is another class of you. So all these different ones, sometimes we're saying, oh, it's so hard to find good multi-strand clasps, right? So here's one that some people would be familiar with. So seed beaters would use this. We attached it with chain, but here's a slide tube. Okay, so similar to design here that we did here, but here you can see we used a magnetic, okay, versus a tube. And it's hard to kind of decide which one you like best. It kind of, I find that, your designs kind of can determine it. But obviously, I'm a clasp maker, so I oftentimes will be starting off with my clasp. All right. Now, one of the ones you, of course, know is Lobster Claw. Okay, and lobsters are great. They're great for guys. Here's a fancy one here, but this is also known as a trigger clasp. Okay, I think these are one of the oh, Thomas, you are so sweet. You are an awesome human also. Oh, Mira, I'd love to see what you have made with the clasp. And the item number of the magnetic clasp, I'm kind of going through here. I'm trying to answer the questions as we go here. Of the magnetic clasp that my husband made here. Now I've set it down and it like disappeared into the sea of my things here. It's an MG number, so if you type in MG, here it is in a hammer that was MG61. That's so funny. Where did it go? I have the tray right here. Did I hide it under something? All right, I might find it and then I can give you that code number. But I don't know where it went. That is so strange. I haven't even moved spots. Okay, but lobsters. Sorry, Claudia. I'm trying to fit in a lot of stuff and I feel like I might not have enough time. But thank you. I will try to slow it down. I'm a naturally fast talker. But... yeah, small ones always give me a headache too, which is why this one is nice and big and jumbo, okay? But they are great because, especially guys, they are rough on their stuff, and so using a lobster is good. And the latest thing, of course, that we're using lobsters for, anybody been making these? Thank you, Carol. You might have to just do a replay on that number, okay? The latest thing we've been making are... Sarah and I have been loving these, are the mask holders. So you can put the little lobsters right onto your masks. Okay, and then you can have yourself a little mask holder. And then they kind of look like earrings. Okay, but you can see, this is my mask actually that I've been wearing. Okay, but you just put the lobsters right on there and hook right up to the ears here. And then they look great on. Here, maybe I'll show you. So if you guys are not making mask holders, you guys should be definitely making mask holders. So here, you guys can see. So these ones will slide down here. And then if I wasn't wearing earrings, you guys can see how they end up looking. So Lobsters are a good choice for a lot of things, and especially adjustability. Actually, I'm going to show you guys another necklace here that we just made here the other day, and show you what's great about a little bit of adjustability here. So here we've got a lobster added to a little bit of chain, and so if you're wondering how to make those things adjustable when you're not sure what length this person is going to wear it, or you want to be able to use them at a, different lengths, then adding a little bit of chain with your lobster is a great adjustable way to make it. Okay. We also have here, MG62. I found it. It was underneath those, underneath that pile there. But there is also, we carry something called an adjustable toggle here, and it works in the same fashion. So it's kind of like having a chain, okay? But you have a little toggle, and you can then put this bar into any one of those, okay? And that way then you get about an inch, inch and a half of flexibility. And one of the things I do like on the ends there is adding that little charm. Okay, if you guys like this necklace, want to learn how to make it, we've got a video on that one too. So check out the Stars Beads page, you guys, and you'll see a whole lot of videos. All right, let's see. What haven't we done now? We did magnetics, we did some tube clasps, we did button clasps, we did box clasps, multi-strand box clasp, tube clasps. All right, now I was thinking about maybe a little bit of project time, and as we talk about the next couple, okay, because there's some of the bigger categories, some of the ones that it sounds like that you guys are familiar with using, and ones that are great to be able to make too. So adjustable toggles are great, Karen. They are. Let's see. So the next ones that I wanted to cover were going to be, let's see, toggles, S-clasps, and hooks. Okay, so let's talk about, which one should we do first? Let's talk about toggles. So toggles, I love toggles. Okay, you can see I'm wearing a toggle right here, right now. Oh, I had to take off my sweater. I'm so hot right now. But toggle worn into the front. Okay, let me switch around. I'm going to show you different ways to use toggles. Let's check it out. Okay, so toggles. We're not even done yet, Natalie. We have more clasps to go. All right, so another way to use toggles, which I love, is so if you're a lariat maker, this is another way to use a toggle. So if you just use the ring, it's great. You can use it for a variety of things. And sometimes on toggles, let me pull out some here, is that, and I'm going to pull out some of the ones from Stars class, is that, sometimes they're so beautiful that you can just use it as a pendant. Right? Use it as a pendant, use it as an earring. You'd have to buy two, but but still, sometimes they're gorgeous. Gorgeous enough to do that. We have a great little pearl one that I would say, I love toggles. Toggles are probably one of my favorite, and that's one of the largest categories, one of our most popular categories, so if you do something simple, and I think we're going to make a toggle that kind of feels like this, but we're going to make it on our own here. Okay, so, but you can see nice simple ones, and then you can hang something right off of here very, very easily. That way then the design comes into the front, just like I was wearing, and then you can add something big and spectacular on there. In my case, of course. Who doesn't love a little Swarovski bling? All right, if you like that one, that's a peacock pearl clasp in sterling. Okay, let's see what other toggles that I have with me here. Oh, here. Okay, so because we were talking about wearing it, so if you do just like a simple chain, I kind of think of like the Tiffany's, and then just doing something simple and hanging a donut like this one. It is great. So I love to wear toggles in the front. Another thing I wanted to point out, okay, for all those Kumi people, okay, is taking a, let me find one now. That's how it always goes, right? Is, all right, so let's take this for example, okay? All right, all you kumi people, and you're always saying, I want to hang something off my kumi, but I can never find a bail that's big enough, right? Who's with me, anybody? Okay, so what you can do is, let me see if I can string it onto here, okay, is use a toggle that you like as a bail. So you see that nice ring attachment? See how nice that looks? Okay, boom, just like that, and then you can add whatever it is you want to that nice little ring. Okay, so if you're a kumi person or having those thick cords that you guys like braiding, toggles can be a great way to get that bail over it, okay, because they oftentimes have nice big rings to be able to do that. Okay, this is one of my favorite toggles. We've had this one for a long time. Fairly thick and, you know, sturdy there. All right, so T9. I love just, you know, I know that they were made as clasps, but, you know, you don't always have to use it that way. You know, lariat, wearing them in the front, so many different options. Okay, so you guys want to make something, because I know we've been doing a lot of talking here, and so I thought maybe we could make a little something, and then maybe we could talk about another style of clasp, and then go into some hooks and some S clasps. We could talk about those next, and then make some of those. How does that sound? Shall we change it up? Are there instructions for the dagger wrapped I showed? You know, that's a chin loose style design. So it's kind of that ladder stitch, and here I can try to show it to you here. You know, I kind of just brought in a lot of my personal jewelry of different designs so that I could show you. But if you guys want to look close, this is kind of here. I'll do a quick design dissection here. Okay, this is like that chin loose style design. So if you do that ladder wrap here, it's simply that design. So I'll show you the design. Here's the secret. We're looking at daggers with some little rondelles that fit the spacing. So I did 2 across. Okay. And yes, Lisa, I did make my necklace. And you have some big pretty beads that I need to get to you. Okay, so I thought maybe we could make a toggle. You guys want to make a toggle? Who's into wire working? We can do a quick little toggle, so we could do a little project time, break up a little bit of the talking. Okay, I know that we want to do a little bit of things too. So I thought we could make a simple little toggle. I'm going to use some 18 gauge wire. Okay, I'm using artistic wire. That is something that we do carry here in the store. So pretty much I'm like the bead shop, one-stop shop, right? So you can just write your list of the things that you want, and then I'll send it to you. Okay, so you don't have to like scroll through sites. You just name it, just saying I need nylon jaw pliers. Okay, got it. All right, so all right, let's do a wire toggle. I'm gonna pull out some 18 gauge wire here. I'm gonna get a, let's see, let's get a single bead. I had some I have some big hole pearls here. Because that's kind of the thing we've been using here recently. And so that's what I got hanging out. All right. Thanks so much, Janelda, for joining us. All right. I have 18 gauge wire. If you guys are a little bit new to wire working, you may want to try a 20 gauge just because it's a little bit easier, especially if you're starting. Okay, so you might have heard, I think it was Heather talking about, you know, work hardening your wire. So you got a little taste of wire a little bit earlier today. Okay, we're going to get a little bit more right now. All right, so I'm just cutting, what am I making? Let's see, we're going to be making a toggle. So I kind of like to go for like 6 inches. Okay, and you know, I'm just eyeballing something right now. Okay, and the first thing that we're going to do, I'm going to switch around the camera. You can use anything that's rounded. So if you have bail making pliers, depending on how big you want your toggle to be right now. Okay, in my case, I want it to be kind of actually a decent size because my pearl is a bit of a good size as well. So I don't know if this bail making plier is going to be big enough. for the project I planned on. All right, so I'm going to switch the screen around, and we're going to get to making a little bit of a toggle. All right, so come join me. All right, so I have it's a mandrel here in all different sizes, so you can kind of then decide like what size you want. I'm just gonna kind of pick one. Here I'm kind of in the middle of my wire here, and I kind of think I want to do a little swirl, so I'm hoping that I have had enough chose enough wire. Actually, I'm gonna maybe do a step down here. Okay, so I'm going to take this, and I'm just using it as the form here. Okay, and we're going to cross through so you can see, and I'm using 18 gauge, and I'm trying to do it at a new angle here. All right, so here we go. You can see we've done a nice little loop. Okay, yes, we do carry the large hole pearl. So anybody, you guys, if you guys are watching today's feed, a lot of the things that I carry here is actually going to be thrown onto something we call Friday Night Live, and actually it's going to be happening right after the Dakota Stones. So you guys can continue your night with Stars Beads. I will be going on the Stars Beads page at 8 p.m. At Eastern Standard Time, and this is when you're going to be seeing probably some large hole pearls coming through. All right, so here we go. We've got a little bit of wire in a perfect size loop. That's what I want my toggle size to be. All right, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my pliers here, and I want to kind of bend at that cross section so that we've got one piece straight up. Okay, and right now I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to twirl this. Okay, and I'm just leading with my fingers here, real gently. And I don't want too much of a wrap because I'm going to probably end up coming down with this pearl that I want to put on there. Okay, so let's cut off that piece of wire. Okay, I'm going to pinch this closed here because you don't want anything poking, okay? Because you want people to be able to open and you want to be able to open and close your jewelry easily, and you don't want any scratching or anything that's uncomfortable because you're not going to wear it. Okay, and the beauty of large hole pearls is, you know, most of the time you can't put it on anything but something skinny, and so therefore you wouldn't be able to make a clasp with it. Okay, the coupon code, you know, it's not actually a code, so just put it in the comments, and we're going to give you the 20% discount right off the bat. Just put it in the comments, and we have to put it in by hand. Okay. All right, so now you can see we're going to have a pearl right on top. All right, grab some round nose pliers here, and we're going to do ourselves, and I'm going to leave myself just a smidgen of space because I think I'm going to do a little twirl to make it a little bit more interesting. Okay, so we're going to bend that, going to readjust, and you can see I'm going to be leading around with my plier here, and I'm at a funny angle. All right, and then I'm going to bring this around. Okay, standing that up, is that the way I want it? Looks like it. And we're going to take this, and I'm going to start wrapping, and again leading that wire. And if you need it a little bit tightened because you didn't get it quite tight enough, you can squeeze a little bit here. Okay, and again, 20 gauge will be a little bit easier so that if you are new to wire working, I kind of really like the heaviness because, you know, you're talking a toggle, you know, so I feel like it should be a little bit fairly sturdy. So the 18 gauge is really good. All right, thanks guys, helping me out, you guys, on my questions here. So, all right, so now you can see I'm bringing this wire around. I'm going to actually just continue because I kind of want a little added oomph here, and I'm going to squeeze that. Okay, I'm going to bring that around, just leading it, you know, just letting it do its thing. Maybe if I wanted to sit up a little bit, okay, before it comes down. And look at that, I had enough wire. All right, so we're gonna keep bringing that around. Barely enough wire. So let's see if I can squeeze it off. Okay, we're going to bend this here so that, because now it's hurting my fingers. So to keep the integrity of the loop, you can see I'm using the round nose plier here. Okay, so that tends to help a little bit. All right. And you know, we don't need too much of it to go around. Might not have left enough space, but so it goes. Yeah, and I'm just going to, I'm going to do a little hammering to it so that you can work harden it. But because it's a kind of a plated metal, it's fairly stiff already. So I'm going to tuck that in. So you could certainly hammer this a little bit, you know, give it a little added texture. Okay, so there's the one side. All right. Now you could certainly use that as an earring. You could certainly use that as a bail, as we just discussed, right? And if you want, you can certainly hammer it. We've got that here too. We're just gonna. So I've got a little hammer. I'm gonna. I don't know that I can show that, but I'm gonna just hammer just real lightly on it. You can probably hear me really quick, just so you can kind of get a little bit of texture onto there. You can kind of see. It is that easy, Janet. Just pull out that wire. And that's really one of my goals, is that I want you just to try it. It's not scary, and wire's cheap, okay? All right, so now we've got the ring part, okay? Now let's pull out a little bit more wire here. And then we're gonna cut this. And I really don't know how long I really want my toggle, the bar to be, okay? So I'm just gonna cut more than enough, just better to be safe. And this time around, I'm going to use my round nose plier here, okay? And I'm gonna kind of find the center. You know, you don't have to, you can figure out the evening it out later. You know, let's see if I can do this very well here. Probably wasn't the easiest thing. Okay, but essentially you're trying to make this design here. Okay? Let me squish that a little bit. I'm using 18 gauge, so you gotta be not quite manhandling it, but a little bit, you know, like you want it to go there, so you just make it go there. All right, so there's a little loop, and hopefully I made it long enough here, but what I want to do here, it keeps slipping in my hand here, okay, is I'm actually going to put a twist in this here. So I'm going to spin it kind of like a helicopter. And again, looks like I can't see it, and I'm slipping here, sorry. Because I'm using 18 gauge here. Yeah, you can totally do that, Stephanie. That would make a great piece on the lanyard, and you can actually, you could even tie your leather or whatever it is to that. So don't worry, Chris, I've got plenty of big hole beads for you. So come join me tonight on Friday Night Live at 8 on the Stars Beads page. Okay? All right, so now, you know, I'm going to kind of straighten this out. We kind of want, you know, obviously a kind of a straight bar, but actually you really don't have to. All right, so one of the things about a toggle, you guys, when you are buying toggles out there, it's really important to make sure that your bars are long enough, okay? Unfortunately, they sell them on the market where you have these, you know, beautiful toggles, okay? And then what happens is that, I'm not gonna, this one obviously is long enough, but what happens is that this bar goes falling through like this, right? So like the ring is in there. Let me see if I can find here. Is this one too small? Okay, so if you have your ring in here, and you can see that if you are all the way over, and you can see that this is falling in, okay? I mean, there's nothing that toggle can do. okay? So you can't be upset, you know, I mean, so make sure your bars are long enough, okay? So when that ring is in there, you want to have, oh, you know, at least pretty much the length of this ring across, okay? So that when, and I like having these little swirlies here, okay? So that you can, you know, kind of do one of these here, okay? And test it out. All right, that's really important on the toggles. I see I've had several people bring me toggles and say, I lost it, and that's exactly what the problem is. Okay, so now you can see that we can do a little curly Q here on the end. Let's see, 18 gauge is always a little tough, so I'm gonna bend that just a smidgen. I'm going to take these other pliers. Might be your internet connection there, Barbara. I think that sometimes, unfortunately, that's what some of you guys are dealing with right now. Okay, so, and I should have probably cut those to the same length, but I was just showing you curling the ends there. Cut this down a little bit to size. We're going to guesstimate there. Okay, and then we're going to roll this really tight. Okay, when you are working with the thicker gauges, I find that having a good plier makes a big difference, okay? These are really nice Xuron tools. Love those guys. Love those tools. All right, so when we're making a spiral, you see I have the edge, and then I'm holding that as I kind of push it, okay? I didn't do a great job on being even, but you guys get the idea. So my store is located in wonderful Vienna, Virginia, right outside of the Washington, D.C. area. All right, so that would be the bar. I didn't do a great job measuring it, but you guys understand. You guys get the idea. All right, and then you could certainly harden it. Here I had done another little one. If you want to do just all wire, you could certainly do that wrap. And then do a swirl right down, just like we did here, only you're going to make this a little curly Q if you want to, maybe just an all wire one. Okay. Oop. Yes, my live is at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard, so that's 5 o'clock your time, and that's when we do a big cheers. Get started. All right, so that was... Okay, those were toggles. That was fun. All right, so next thing, toggles. One of the other things I wanted to say about toggles was that toggles are great, but again, they open and close, and the name of the pliers are Xuron brand. I carry these blue-handled Xuron chain nose, if you guys want those. These are awesome. Oh, so glad you made the class with me, Mira. All right. You can always use a jig, okay? I am a free former, so I kind of like that organicness, a little bit like Heather. So I tend to kind of keep it organic, and you know, we're always making one-of-a-kind jewelry, right? So got to keep it one of a kind that way. And as you get better, you can start banging those out. All right. Okay, so let's do, oh, that's what I was saying. I'm sorry, got off track. Toggles, okay? If you guys like loose bracelets, okay, toggles may not always be great for you, okay? That is simply physics, okay? So you have a toggle, and let's see. I don't have a loose one. Don't have a sample on that. But you have a toggle, okay, and you put your arm down. Okay, here. We'll take a toggle here, okay? And you put your arm down, okay? And then this is what happens if you have a loose bracelet, okay? Here, I'll switch the camera around here. Yes, you can see this later, Julie. This will certainly be on the Stars Beads page. It's shared onto this page, and you should be able to go right to it. All right, so if you like loose bracelets, one of the things about toggles, okay, so we were talking about first, you want to have a bar that's long enough, okay? That's one of the things. But if you like a loose bracelet, see what happens here is, see how that slack happens, right? And then your bar can be moving all around, and then you stand up really fast, and then your bar can come flying out, okay? you know, those are just certain things that you have to know about clasps. So you may not be a toggle person for your bracelets if you like big loose toggles, okay? And this is going to be the same thing that I'm going to tell you about hooks, guys. Okay, so trying to see if I don't think oh, here's the S hook. Okay, so that's the same idea using an S hook or a regular hook, okay? So if you have a hook and an eye here, okay, and again, all right, one of the things is, yes, you could open and close this, right? But we know that opening and closing right here will eventually cause a weak point, and eventually is going to just straight break on you, okay? So it will last, you can certainly do that, but that's what ends up happening, okay? So going into S clasps and hooks in general, okay, they kind of work very, very similarly, okay? But hook, let's just think of a hook as just half of an S clasp, okay? And you're going to have a ring of some kind and then a hook here, all right? Now, sliding this in here is great, but again, you put that onto a bracelet, okay, and then you set your arm down. Whoop! You saw it, right? Like, happens just like that, okay? So, you gotta be reasonable, okay? Unfortunately, clasps are supposed to open and close so you can get out of your things, okay? Now, one of the things I want to talk about on an S clasp is that they are so awesome, and I feel like people don't understand why they're so awesome. Okay, so you can see here right now, okay, so yes, it's a hook on both sides, okay, yes, so that means maybe, you know, there's 2 chances of it opening, okay, and I'm gonna pull out another piece of necklace here. Okay, I don't have one, but okay, so we'll pretend. But the beauty, I think, of an S clasp really is if you want to wear one strand, you can. If you want to add, say, another strand, this is a lanyard, but I'm going to pretend, okay? You can hook in another piece here, and you can hook another piece into here. Just like that. Okay, now you have 2 hooked into the same clasp. Okay? Janelda, if you like this clasp, Stars Beads carries it, so you can screenshot that. Say, I want that Sterling S clasp. I think it's only like $6 or $8 or something, and it's sterling. Okay, so that is one of the beauties of S clasps, okay? Hooks are also great in the fact that you can see here is that you can hook it very similar to a lobster, okay? So then you can, or in the old school days, you know, they kind of just put it in between a chain, and that would hook it, you know. I'm a little bit more crazy in that, you know, I mean, I have a 6-year-old and running around, and I got to be looking good in my jewelry, okay? So you know, so if you have the hook and eye, and I think that we're going to make one of these here today, and so let's make a few, all right? So that's just a little discussion about S hooks and hooks. Who likes that type of clasp? It seemed like the favorite was toggles. I have a hard time. It kind of depends on what I'm making. So it really, you know, that's what determines it for me, is really the design, unless I started there first, that I just love the clasp, right? So, so let's make a few. I thought here are some designs that, let's try to make some, okay? I thought that would be fun. Now it'll be project time and making some. I thought we would do, you guys have buttons, right? I know people have a bazillion buttons, and so I thought I'd show how to make this little S clasp out of a button, okay? You can certainly do the same style out of beads, and so maybe I'll do one of each of those. We're going to see how much time we have. I know that Andrew was running out of time, and I think that I will probably be too here shortly. So there are no rules in beading. That is one of the beautiful things. I love it. One of the quotes I think I threw up there was to learn the rules like a pro so you can break them like an artist. So thank you, Wanda. I really appreciate it. I was trying to get dressed up for you guys. All right, so let's pull out some more of that 18 gauge wire, and let's make ourselves some hooks and some S clasps, okay? All right, let's play around a little bit, have a little bit of project time. I know we've been doing a lot of discussion, and, you know, Everybody has such great projects, and so hopefully you guys will like this one too. All right, let's take a look. All right, let us grab a button. Let me find one. So on our show, oftentimes that I do every day is that I love that, let's take a look here. I'm gonna throw it down. I love actually you guys to help me play a little bit. So that is the beauty and the fun of live. Okay, so I brought, for those that have watched the Stars Beads page, these were actually some vintage buttons, and these are the ones that I did not let you guys have. Unfortunately, these are the ones, some of the ones that I kept. Okay, so I'm just going to kind of break them out, and I'm going to see, does anybody have a preference on what I should use? Let's see. Oh, this is a good one. So while you guys are finding your buttons, let's grab those buttons out. And so, you know, we just need a little shank on the back. Ooh, that's a pretty sparkly one. This is the one I had used. These are all hand painted. These are vintage German. So if you guys join us on Friday Night Lives, you never know what I'm going to be showing sometimes, okay? So this was one of the Friday Night Lives where we pretty much sold out, except for the ones I stole. All right, blue, a green one. I love it. All right, let's see. Oh, I'm so sorry, Sherry. Maybe when you get better reception, sometimes the pixelation will come back for you. All right, blue or green? Blue and green. Oh, you guys are after my own heart. You guys are teal lovers too, because you can see that's where I have a lot of the silver with the blue center. Ooh, where's that one? There's so many pretties. All right, looks like, you know, you guys think I should do like a blue or teal. Turquoise, pink, I love it. All right, it obviously has to be blue or teal. All right, you know what I'm gonna choose. I think I'm gonna choose this one because this is blue and green. That covers, I think, most of you guys. All right, awesome sauce. We've got ourselves a button choice here. All right, we're gonna use this one here for this S-Class. And let's, yep, it was the first one I grabbed, Lisa. You're right on. That's how shopping goes. You should just stick to your first choice. All right, so you have a shank here. Okay, I am pulling out, I think we'll do a silver one here. Okay, I like the one with the flowers too. And I really love that one too. There's so many good ones. Oh, see, I really like to see. All right, for those that are new to me, you better get to know it, but these are my two favorite colors. Purple and teal. All right, I'm going to break out some 18 gauge wire again. And what do you think? Silver or gold? Silver, gold. Any preference? I'm a silver girl, so, but it kind of looks good with gold, huh? The buttons were from us, Catherine. That was one of our Friday Night Lives. So, silver, huh? Unfortunately, they were vintage, and I completely sold out of probably like 10,000 buttons. They went pretty fast. All right, looks like you guys are silver girls too. All right, love it. All right, we're gonna break out some silver. Again, I'm gonna cut off an arbitrary, I don't know, 6 inches. I tend to like to cut 4 to 6 inches whenever I'm kind of doing something. Seems to work out pretty good. All right, so we've got now where did I put the button? All right, we've got our wire here, we've got our button here, and the first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna string that button on, okay? And then we are going to, I'm actually going to leave a little bit more on one side than the other. Let me see if we can get that on the screen. So I have a little bit here because I'm going to take one side and I'm going to go wrapping around here. Okay, so I'm going to show you now on the back side here. Can we see that? Pretty good. It's a black button. All right, so I'm going to literally just bend this almost into a U shape here to kind of get things started. And then I'm going to start wrapping this, the one that I have that is longer. Okay, and I'm going to keep this close. And 18 gauge is a good one. It stays fairly in place. And I'm literally, you can see, I'm doing that swirl. Okay, I'm going to swirl this onto the back. Okay, and I'm coming up on top of the other because we're not going to end up seeing it. Okay, but you do want to keep it so that it's, you know, fairly almost flat to the shank. Almost makes it the same size. So now you can kind of see I'm kind of just getting it bent into kind of shape, so we got some on both sides. Looking pretty good. I think we've got it secured into there. All right, so now if you guys have those bail making pliers, okay, get those babies out. All right, and I'm going to use the bigger one. This is a bail making plier. Comes in several different sizes. We carry all three. Okay, and I'm gonna just take this. You can see that I'm holding right here, and I'm going to bring this piece around. Okay, can bring that around. Okay, you can start seeing the formation here. And this is a great way to use some of those and honor, you know, your grandmother and your mother for all those buttons. All right, so now we went this way. Now I want to go this way. Oh, so I want to bring this probably back down, just a smidgen. All right, I want to go this way, and then I'm going to come around. So I need to bring this down a little bit so that I can put this plier right here in the right spot for you. All right. And I'm getting as close as I can to that button, and then I'm going to bring this baby around here. Same way. And I'm going to actually pull this back a little so that we can see a little bit more of the design. All right, and it looks like we made enough. Looks like that I didn't get quite pull over, but that's the beauty of wire. You can do some adjusting to it. Actually, it's because it was. I designed it down there. All right, let's see if I can tuck it in. All right, maybe we'll flatten that out, just like Heather did here. So we're gonna take those chain nose, I'm gonna maybe flatten it, and go really easy because we're not looking to mar the wire here. Okay, so we're gonna see if I can maybe make it look a little bit more appropriate here from this side. And you get it deformed. I actually take these round nose here, okay, and we're gonna kind of just round it out. No stress, right? This is supposed to be fun and it's free form, but you guys get the idea. Thank you. You like my rings? I love rings. My mom would always tell me I don't have enough fingers for all those rings. One of my games was how many rings is Kay wearing? All right, so now you can see kind of the S clasp, right? I'm going to kind of cut these down to size. I want to kind of be right here. This one I might not need to cut down anything, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to twirl my ends here. So we're going to just take those ends on this one. This one looks like it's about the right size here. And I'm going to twirl so we get a little bit of a spiral. You see that here? Okay. And I'm going to keep curling so that it kind of gives me a little curly cue, just like that. Okay, and we'll cut the other side, and we're going to repeat that process on the other side. Okay, if you do find that you have some wiggles in your wire, that's where you can certainly use your nylon jaws and straighten that out beforehand. All right, we're going to curl these babies out. And then we can also make some decorative rings to go with it if we chose. So you can see I'm squeezing there. And I think I'm going to, can't grab it with the round nose now. Okay, so I'm going to just do a little more curl. Okay, and then we've got ourselves a little S out of a cool vintage button. And of course, I think I probably should have gone one wrap with the other one, but that's the play around. Okay, and then you could of course make a decorative ring to go on the other side. This is just the one that I happen to have, and it's of course a little bit of purple. Okay, And the beauty of wire is actually you don't need that many tools, okay? Nylon jaws, some your basic chain nose, okay? And then you can certainly make a decorative ring to go on it as you attach whatever it is you're going to attach, okay? You guys, I think this would also be good for the holidays too. I was kind of thinking maybe you could hang your Christmas ornaments off of it or something. Make nice, neat little hangers, okay? So that was a pretty little fun design, okay? So you guys can kind of see using buttons. Great way to use buttons. Okay, and that's an S clasp. You guys want to make another one? I thought we could maybe do another one, kind of maybe look like this. I think that would be fun. Let's make one more of those, and then we'll show off a few hooks. Too. So I'm going to show you, let's go ahead and grab another piece of wire. Let's go ahead and make one maybe in gold. And let me see what beads I have laying around here. Okay. So we're going to grab another piece here. Kind of looking for my nylon jaw pliers right now. Huh. And I'm supposed to have everything sitting right here, and I don't know where my nylon jaw pliers are. Oh, there they are. In the bucket. All right, so this is a little crazy, so I'm just going to straighten it out. So this is, this will kind of harden the wire a little bit too. Okay, so, all right, let's straighten this baby out. Okay. I'm going to kind of, and again, I'm using 18 gauge. If you're kind of fresh into using wire, I would recommend using a 20 gauge. It'll make you'll enjoy beading a little bit more if you do that. Okay, all right, let's see. We are going to make a different S clasp now. Okay, so first thing I want to do is wrap some beads. Okay, so let me grab a few. Here I've got those purple ones that I love. Let's see what else can we fit onto here. So I'm so glad you guys are enjoying the demo here. Okay, so I've got 18 gauge wire, and I'm actually going to grab some 22 gauge wire as well to get this wrapped onto things. Okay, so we just need a little piece, not too much. Okay, but I do want to do a little swirly doodad, so I think, again, just better, safer to have more. Okay, so the first thing we're really going to do, because I'm not sure how long I'm going to make my centerpiece. Okay, so first thing we're going to do is we're going to wrap here. Okay, and kind of secure this to the wire. And in order to do that, so that I do this on the first one, okay, so that you can really cinch it to the wire. And I'm making sure I have a good grip so that my plier isn't slipping off of here, because I'm trying not to make too many marks up on the wire. One of the good little tricks about actually your chain nose, if you are trying not to mark up on your wire, you could put a little masking tape. That's what my mom back in the day, that's what we would put on. Just put a little masking tape on there. Of course, there's, tool magic and different things that you can use. But, if you have a little bit of that, you can just put that on there, and it'll help you there a little. Okay, so here you can see I'm going to do a little bit of a wrap here. And we're going to lead this so that it's a little bit tighter here. And you can certainly do that with your pliers. And again, I'm using a thicker gauge, so. But once we get it on, I don't actually want to tighten it quite yet. Okay, so now I'm going to string on some beads. Let me see. Maybe I'll just do all purple here. So I'm going to do 3 little purple beads here. Let me grab one more. Or actually, we did gold, right? Will this fit on there? This might be a little big. I had these UFO beads too. Let's see if this, we'll maybe do a purple UFO bead. It's kind of a big one. Like that. All right, we'll do that. It doesn't matter. All right, so here we've got this line up here. All right, and then you're gonna see I'm actually gonna take this. I'm kind of holding the beads in place because I know that I'm going to stop right about here, okay? But I'm gonna kind of hold everything in place. I'm holding this wire, okay? And I'm going to wrap the first one, okay? And when we do that, we're going to wrap right here, okay? And then I'm gonna push this one here. So you'll see that there's a little line on there, around there, okay? Then we're gonna wrap again around the UFO bead, and then you're gonna see I'm gonna cinch it to the wire here. Okay, gonna push this bead up, and we're going to wrap here, and then I'm gonna cinch that essentially into place here. So now we have kind of our center that we want. And now you'll have a little bit more leverage. Yeah, I call it my UFO bead. It's kind of cool. It's got a little bit of copper, a little bit of gold on there. We carried in different colors. All right, so there we've kind of got our center. Okay, and kind of maybe wrap this so that they look even on both sides here. So here it is up close of what we've done. I'm kind of can push it. You can kind of twist it while it's on there. Okay, all right. Now let's clip these little babies off. And I'm gonna push down here. So we want to make sure, again, nothing poking out, okay? So this is a nice S clasp. Okay, so making that decorative. Now, I'm sorry, I'm just trying to read a little bit of the comments as I'm going. So the gauge of the wire we're using here today, I'm using 18 gauge on this and 22 gauge. If you want to do a step down, then you can use 20 gauge and 24 gauge. Okay, all right, so now we're at the endings, okay, and we can start again. Do one of these on one side. I'm going to bend this back just a smidgen. Okay, we've got one side here. Okay, we're going to do the same thing on the other side. So it's just kind of like your round nose. I'm going to bend just a little bit back and then bring this around. Okay, so now you guys kind of see, there's the start of that S clasp again. Okay, and again, you can kind of just readjust if you want here. Okay, bending it to length, and then we're going to kind of cut here to, say, I'm kind of going halfway. Okay, yeah, I definitely agree with the 18 gauge Lynn. I definitely prefer to use an 18 when I'm using the clasps. Unless you're doing some really tiny stuff, then maybe. Okay, also if you don't curl these ends, it's really good idea to use a little burr on the end, okay? That's rounding your wire here, okay? Especially if you're making earring hooks, okay? All right, so we're gonna curl these little ends here. And I wanna keep them tight. So let's see. These ones you can see. 18 gauge is definitely a little bit stiffer, so you gotta really do a little bit more manipulation with it. Okay, now I want to kind of curl that out a little bit. Looks pretty good. Maybe I can use this here. Just trying to start on the very, very tip there and bring this little curl around so that way we don't have jagged edges, and curl them up. Okay, and there we have a nice fun S clasp, like those little curly ends. Kind of just adds that nice little finishing touch, and of course you can put anything you want really in the center. Okay, so this is one we had done in the silver, You can kind of wire those. So if you guys like any of the tools, any of the things that you guys are seeing here, all you have to do is message the Stars Beads page and you can just make your little shopping list, okay? You don't have to search for it. You can just ask for it. So, because we don't have an online site. So the only way to shop is live, just like this. That's kind of the fun, and that's kind of what I do on an everyday basis. Okay. All right, guys. Do we have enough time? I think we have enough time. Whew. All right. So those were some S-clasps. That was fun. Now, I thought maybe we could do some hooks. So I had a couple different styles of hooks that we could take a look at. And here is one of them. Here's a fun one. So sometimes if you don't have a clasp at home, okay, you can just make your own, okay? So here's a hook, here's a hook, and here's a hook. So let's see. I don't think we're gonna have time to make them all here, so we can kind of take a look and see. All right, maybe we can go speeding through and see if we can get through all three of these hooks. What do you guys think? All right, let's bang it out. Here we go. Let's start with a couple of these. These are all different ways to make some hooks, okay? We're gonna start off with a simpler one, a swirly one, and then see if we can squeeze in this one. All right, let's do it. Ready? Go. Okay, let's grab some of that 18 gauge wire. We're gonna make this one here first, you guys. It's gonna be fun. Nothing like, how much can we jam pack? I was afraid that maybe I wasn't going to have enough stuff to even talk to you guys about. And here we go. Okay, let's grab some. Again, I'm going to use 18 gauge wire here today. And I'm just cutting. All right, so again, I usually cut between 4 and 6 inches. Just seems to be the good number. All right, the way to do this hook. You guys ready? We are going to bend in the center here. Just like this. We're going to take, and now I want to hold this and squeeze this tight here. Okay, you can see how it's ending up here. Kind of want to straighten this out here. I know it can be easy to grab a lobster, and sometimes that is, but man, clasps really make a difference, you know? I mean, you work so hard on some beautiful designs that you want to end it with some good stuff. All right, so you can see here, there's going to be my little tip, and in fact, I think I'm still going to want it even tighter. You could certainly be loose. It's not, it really doesn't matter. All right, and next, what we're going to do is we're going to find the spot where I'm going to end. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to bend right here. You're welcome, everybody. I am just so thankful that you guys have all come to join us, and I hope you guys are all having fun. We have such a great group of people here today, and I'm just thrilled to be a part of it and getting a chance to have a little fun. It feels like the trade shows again. All right, so you can see the hook formation here. Okay, I'm going to bend this one of the wires, and I'm going to bend the longer one. That seems... Actually, I'm going to bend the shorter one first. I apologize. Okay, and I'm going to kind of bend this up, and then I'm going to kind of bend this over. And this is the trickiest part. And so I'm going to bend one way here. Okay, and then I'm going to hold right here, because leverage is the hardest thing right here, is getting that one bend right there. Okay, so here we go. We're twisting. We're twisting, so literally we're kind of pretty much wire working, okay? Or wire wrapping, sorry. Okay, so I'm kind of gonna bring this around here. And boom, there we go. So you could really just stop there. Okay, in fact, Stars Clasp makes a clasp very similar to this, where when you're kind of done not wanting to make it, then you can just buy them. All right, I'm gonna grab, what should I grab? let's grab I got big hole pearls here right now with me, so that's what I'm going to use. Got a teal one. All right. So I've popped on a pearl here, whatever bead you want to put on, totally fine. All right, and then we're going to bust out another little rattle wrap. All right, we're going to see if we can knock this out. I'm going to try to move fast. So sorry if I talk and moving fast, because now we're under time. Because you guys got to gear up, because just like Softlex posted up there, we've got Tori from Goody Beads coming up next for her kits and cocktails. All right, you see that loop here. We're going to wrap that. And there is the one side of the hook. Okay, and since we're not going to probably have enough time, I'm probably shorten this so that we don't have to make the ring part, because it's very similar. All right, and we're going to tuck that in. This is one of the most important parts, okay? Make sure you tuck your wires in, okay? Love making my own findings, especially when you don't have yours. All right. Because sometimes it's just like beads. Sometimes you just don't have the right color, right size when you need it, okay? All right, so there we go. We've got ourselves a hook, and you can certainly, again, make a simple little, I'm going to show you different hooks, okay? Again, you can make a loop on one side, add a bead, and then make a bigger loop for this side, and there you go. You've got yourself a nice little hook. Okay, there you go. All right, let's see if we can bang out another one here, you guys. Let's show you how to make a quick spiral hook. Does that sound good? All right, pulling out some gold on this one. I'm just trying to speed through as much as I can for you guys. I want to jam pack it in because I am so psyched for this show. So I want to have fun, and I want to try to bring you guys as much as we can. All right, I'm not getting too fancy here. I'm gonna just try to bang this out for you guys, and we can see if we can cruise through 2 more hooks. All right, here we go. Showtime. All right, we're going to start spiraling. Can be difficult with very, very thick wire here. I might not make a super tight one just for time, okay? But you can see I started the roll here, and then we're going to hold that, and then we're going to just lead the wire and just keep on bending. Yeah, the Xuron product, you can really tell the difference. You know, your pliers are not wiggly, especially when you're working with these thicker gauges. You definitely can use sturdy pliers. Okay, it's kind of like cutters, right? You know, you're not going to take your little clippers to go cut a master lock, right? All right, so you can see I'm just holding and twirling. So I'm just going to go until you pretty much make it as big as you want to. All right, and then literally so that you can have an attachment for your piece, we're going to just hold wherever you know, have decided to stop on your loop here. Okay, and then I'm just going to bend. I'm sorry, I'm trying to get out of the screen here. Okay, I'm literally going to bend. See how that happened? Okay, and then it literally is going to sit right next to that loop here. And then we're going to keep on going. Now I might take some nylon jaws to hold it here, and I'm going to kind of bring this around. So see, it's leading here to get it a start around. Sorry, it went off screen there. And where's that bail making plier here? Okay, and I'm going to hold this with the big one on top because that's the size I want to make. I'm going to bring this around here. And you could certainly go with something bigger. This is just what I'm got handy right now. All right, and then we're going to bring this around. And again, you can kind of fashion it to the shape. And then we're going to cut and curl. All right, cut and curl. And I think we might be able to squeeze out this last one here too. And I can say goodbye. and welcome goodie beads next. All right. Ta-da! All right, we've got ourselves a nice little hook here. Okay, and again, there's another side you can certainly make with that. You could go fancy, of course, like we did our little pearly doodad. You could go big and crazy, okay? So boom, just like that. All right, let's see if we can bang one more out. Okay, so this is the one I actually did with the silver one. So you can see I did the little curly, and instead of ending it with the hook, okay, I came up with that, put a pearl on there, and then wrapped on the other side, okay? So that ended up being my other side. Yes, it would. These are great little charms you can use. A lot of different things you can do. All right, let's see. I don't know if I can bang this next one out fast enough. All right, let's see. Now I'm trying to look for it. Oh, here it is. All right, I want to show you maybe how to do one that is like this. It's fairly quick, and it's very similar to what we've been doing. So let's grab one more piece, and let's see if we can squeeze this out before we gotta kick me off here. Probably tired of listening about clasps anyway. All right, I'm gonna break this out here. We're gonna cut a little piece off. I'm gonna go gold here. We're going to make a little loopy on the bottoms. I'm gonna grab, see if I can see how fast we can make this, because you guys can just replay me, okay? I don't want to step on anybody else's toes. Everybody has worked so hard. All right, we've got ourselves a little loop, okay? And we're gonna cut this off here. This is where we will add a pearl on the end, okay? Because that's what I have. They're big hole pearls right now. But anything that fits on that 18 gauge, I'm gonna tuck this baby in and see what we can do. All right, excellent. Now I'm gonna grab some, you know what? I'm actually gonna do twisted wire, okay? And I'm gonna do silver, so we're gonna just make a multi-strand because I think that just looks fun, all right? So, so I'm gonna introduce you to twisted wire. If you've been scared to use twisted, here we go. Check it out, okay? My Friday night lives are at 8 p.m., you guys. So you guys can check me out tonight. We're going to be doing a fun sip and shop event and be playing around with probably some big hole pearls. Okay, so if you liked today's things, then you can certainly do that. If you want any of the basics like the pliers or the wire, then just message the page and say, hey, give me the setup. All right, you can see we're going to kind of do just like the S-class that we did, but we're going to be wiring on this, okay? And I'm going to see how fast we can make this one happen, okay? And I'm kind of doing it with the pearl there in place to kind of get it cinched. And it's always the start that you want to kind of make sure, and then it kind of will fall into place here. But again, I'm going to see if I can kind of move fast because I know we're running out of time here. All right. And thanks for joining me, you guys, because I'm still a little bit new to doing videos and on this, and so I'm not real fancy on my videoing or anything. I just go right onto my phone. And luckily for me, I had enough battery to get me through this feed. All right, you guys, you see what I'm doing here? So I'm literally wrapping, and it looks like I'm wrapping even more crazy because I'm using twisted wire, okay? So in this case, you kind of want to do it for, you know, we're going to need a little bit of it, okay? Because and you can keep pushing down. So you can see I'm spiraling here. I'm kind of holding right at the edge to kind of help lead it where I want it. But even if you get off, I'm gonna work fast here. Squeeze, squeeze. And for a hook, you actually need probably a little bit more than you think. So I'm gonna just, who knows, maybe I'll make it a little bit too long here. All right, we're wrapping. It's kind of calling it like wrapping up right at the very end. We're gonna wrap this feed up. Okay. And you guys, I'll be leaving this feed up here in the Great Bead Extravaganza. I will be also leaving it up into the video library on the Stars Beads page, so you can certainly revisit. You can certainly see all the other videos that I have too. So, all right, here, let's, I'm tucking here. All right, thanks for working with me, you guys. Okay, pushing that in. All right, now where are my veil making pliers? Okay, this is where we're going to kind of do a little push back. So we have a little bend of the neck before I bring this around here. Okay, and so you can see I have that the wiring because I don't know if I'm going to need all of it. Okay, but okay, we'll make sure I use all of it. How about that? All right, so I'm going to bring this around here. Maybe bring this a little bit lower. Okay, so you have that spiral. I'm bringing it down because I want it to look like a proper hook. All right, see? Here we go. And I think we've done it. All right, I'm gonna cut so I have a little smidgen of room. Boom. And we're gonna do a little cut and curl. And I think we can call it time. All right, here it is. Our last but not least clasp here. All right, there's a fun one here. Boom. May not have been as pretty as my sample, but there it goes. All right, here we go. You can see how that one ended up looking. We definitely banged it out. And we can put a little hook on there. We made it. You guys, I want to just thank you so much for joining me. I hope you guys had a good time here with me. I know that it is 5 o'clock somewhere, and I think that it is right on time for me to sign off. I want you guys to enjoy a little cocktails and stuff with Tori of Goody Beads. And make sure if you guys have any questions, any comments, you can certainly put them right here in the feed. I will be reviewing those. And you can also hop over onto the Stars Beads page. And make sure you like and follow our feed as well, because I pretty much go on daily doing things like this. Okay, so thank you again so much, and have a great night, you guys. And let's see you guys creating too. Okay, I want to see what kind of class you guys are making. So if you guys have any, please throw it up into this feed too. I would love to see what you guys are making. Okay, thank you guys so much. Have a great night, and hopefully I'll be seeing you guys again at 8 o'clock. Okay, that's only a couple hours. So after Tori of Goody Beads, then you guys will be sipping and shopping probably with Dakota Stone. And then you can hop over onto our page and continue on to the night. All right, have a good one. Thank you so much.